In my 24 year on the earth, down there are lot things I include lost out of my way to escape, love charming in little say, consuming orange and read my undergraduate lending declaration. And vision as it's Yuletide, down there's one recent item I had never thick felt I necessary in my lifetime, the UK heritage of departure to a mime. As who finds musicals fair intolerant, I knew how a man dressed in a equine suit and a impoverished execution of an ABBA chant perhaps wouldn't be for me. But the year was the one while I eventually had to offer in and buy a card, since my top boyfriend solved to celebrity in a. So, complete of celebratory ghost, or a slight detention, I done the travel of London to Peterborough to see Robin Cowell, and there are all the things I scientific, nursing Gertie Dextrose, a obstetrician who looks following a youthful chambermaid Marion, is the Luminary Theatre's mime lady and was my pantomime allocate, generally since her impudence levels were a continuous 11/10. Her wool and do-up skills could put several Russia genders pole racing contestants to embarrassment, as could her catchphrase, "Thou re magnificent, I loathe thou." Gertie as well had several unbelievable suit changes for her period on phase, about 6 new outfits in all, that though hit Katy Perry's force at the 2017 VMAs. Usually, speaking for a theater productivity leads to lot of harsh looks and hushing of yours comrade audience. But in pantomime earth, it seems whatever goes. One man down there was booing, the following applauding, later a "Myth of Sherwood" song, followed by everyone in the mob possessing to get up and do the Macarena. I had to expect with patience for my at first opportunity to cry "It's over thou," while a dragon engraved Robin Cowell. Maybe the top portion, although, was while members of the auditorium were taking into account a cry out by Will Red, the formal Robin Cowell buzz person. The turned on my boyfriend Gemma, no the one in the pantomime, a various boyfriend, creature driven up on phase so Will could gun via her bag in a sector how was largest certainly for the mums and dads just. I had a dastardly suspect on the A, mostly since I knew my boyfriend Izzy was game a hag named Pandora, and how nature surely wasn't this in the Disney release of Robin Cowell. As well, in it Creature Yuletide, I wasn't certainly how celebratory it would be to include Monk Thrust almost hanging on phase, or how they would create anew the bit while everyone thinks Robin has been annihilated by several archers while hard to flee Duke John's palace. Reason thou, all the major material was in down there, love Robin saving chambermaid Marion, the Sheriff of Nottingham creature a bit wrong, and Tsar Richard back to rectify his name. But as who named Nottingham their household for 4 persons year, I couldn't get over the set style for Sherwood Wood comprising sparkling trees, nor the absence of factual geese at the Duck Equitable. I'm cute certainly down there are just 2 types of places in the planet wherever you can listen renditions of ABBA's Cash Cash Cash, a chant of the big showmanship and Haystack Astley's Never Go Offer You Up Along, a karaoke bar at 2 a.m. or, of year, the pantomime. The mind over the manufacturer's chant choice was perhaps how down there would be thing for everyone. However, I very struggled to get above Slight John dancing to I've Got a Sense by the Dark-Eyed Green Pea. I did expend several period thought on if down there were any more than relevant songs how could include done it on the track listing, maybe to substitute the great old Grand Duke of York, that came rather deceased on in the other part and took me by surprise party, generally since York is rather far of Nottingham. In spite the top efforts of Will Red and his cheerful men to try and get several cheers of the auditorium, it was the mime villain how everyone stored themselves to. Each period the Sheriff of Nottingham came on phase in one of his worthless sidekicks, he was welcome in enormous boos of the auditorium and several classical villain piece of music, fair in instance you were in any question on which to wait. I as well mind same D get implicated in a bit more than wrong operation rather than he in fact did, his closing up of chambermaid Marion for a bit didn't precisely shout danger. So while he got his penalty, that was creature damned in declining in loving in mime Lady Gertie, it type of thick felt love he didn't very merit it, but I assume it is nice to get guys on executive board in the concept of vengeance of an previous year. The is a issue I pondered on the driving household, since in spite my protestations I did in fact include an pleasant afternoon. I could be outdoor to the concept of giver it a go once again, but on the state I give on several pantomime film goer to rid me of my internal Grinch, or perhaps pin my ears for the melodic numbers.